What's going on, guys? Welcome to another live stream session with your boy Phrankleen. If you're watching this as a playback, thank you for stopping by. My name is Phrankleen. I'm the brain behind this platform. This is a segment that I call Story Time. So, Story Time is when people send me their stories, and then if they resonate well with me, I can convert them into a pre recorded content or talk about them on a live stream like this. If you can see me, you can hear me, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. What's up, people? Hi, I'm a T. Hit the like button. Welcome to Story Time, man. Let's talk about this. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, okay? So, anyways, this story came from a lady who basically she's sort of fuming at the moment. She's mad at her husband, and then she sent me this long-wounded email, and said she wanted me to share. Somebody said the camera looking crispy today. I'm streaming from my mobile phone, the same phone. Right. If you can see me, you can hear me. Kindly smash the like button, all right? Please smash the very like button, please. Smash the like button. So anyways, let's crack on with the story. You cannot. KG said, "I'm suspecting from the title. Maybe the guy. Come on, man. You've not even heard the story. Don't suspect. Let me tell you the story. Come on, man. I know you're waiting for the juice. Don't make assumptions. Let me tell you the story very quickly, and then you can respond. All right. So check this out, right? So this lady sent me this email, man, very long-wounded, okay? I always try my very best to compress, because if I really sit down here, or maybe I print out some of these stories, it'll be like, God knows, look, 5, 6, 7 pages, man. So I read it over and over, over and over. I make mental notes, I read it over and over. And then if it resonates with me, then I want to bang the story out to you, and I just kind of, compress it. So, anyways, man, nice to meet everybody. So this lady sent me an email. She watches my channel like you guys. And then she said, Dear Franklin, so she said she was basically heading towards late 30s. And, as it is for most women, she was starting to get worried about settling down. And she was here in the UK, been here for years, but she's been single for a very long time. And then, what phone am I using? It's iPhone 11. If it helps, iPhone 11. I'm streaming from my phone. So anyway, the woman said, she was in her late 30s, and then, she was in a relationship previously with someone else, and then that relationship hit the rocks and ended up acrimoniously and stuff. So I think because of struggling with emotional closure and all that, she decided to hold off, dating someone else and all that stuff. So the long and short was, she then decided to, basically stayed single because of emotional, ups and downs, like I said. And then one thing led to another. I think people around her just said, "Oh, there's this guy based in Nigeria. You guys are like almost the same age. He's single. He's a Christian." Of course, there's nothing wrong with being a Christian, right? But yeah, he's single, he's very active in church, he believes in God. You know the usual template, right? So, because she's here in the UK, she said this particular December, she went home for Christmas, and then the people in the background that always do all this matchmaking. They kind of brought them together, and oh hi, um, they got to know each other, introduced them to each other. So anyway, that was the start of the relationship. But then she had to come back to the UK and all that stuff. So the long, distance relationship, the usual phone call, WhatsApp, and all that stuff, and eventually, she said, I'm sorry that I'm laughing at this bit, but they would be on the phone together each night. Before going to bed, they would say prayers together. Oh, baby, you drop the phone. No, I'll drop the phone. They would say their prayers, and both are supposedly, good Christians, which is marvelous, right? So, and on and on. So eventually they got to a point where she had to go home. They did like a bit of a marriage, yeah, back home. And then she decided to put an application through, with the immigration here, and basically so she can bring him to the UK to come and join her, right? And then she did all that. I'm trying to cut the chase here. She did all that, and then eventually the gentleman came to the UK. One thing led to another. But she said, of course, before he came here, he was working in the bank, back home, some type of managerial level. And she did say that the guy had a major concern and said, okay, if I have to leave my banking job in Nigeria, I've sort of invested my time to be in this industry to come this far. How am I going to be able to, carry on in that line? Working in the financial sector back home is all that I know, and stuff like that. He's worked in a particular bank. I don't want to mention the bank's name. And so she was, you'll be fine. You get to the UK, you'll be all right. You'll be able to get into the system, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, fair enough. So the guy, they did their marriage, she filed, and fortunately, the outcome of the application was positive. She brought him to the UK, and they started coexisting as husband and wife and all that stuff. They started, coexisting as husband and wife. And then eventually, the next thing for the brother is starting to learn the ropes and looking for how to, navigate through the system and all that stuff. And then it got to a point, because the next thing, once the honeymoon season is all gone and everything's settled, the next thing is for you to find a way to get a job and all that. So reality kicks in, right? For someone who's just come into the system afresh, he's trying to find his feet. And so she said, I'm trying not to name any organizations in the UK, because I don't know who might know who might be watching my program, who might be able to connect the dots. So I'm refraining from mentioning any organization. Anyway, for the time being, the guy had to get a job as a delivery driver for a well-known big organization that does delivery. But of course, and that's one of the harsh reality of coming overseas. It's not exactly the type of job that the guy would like. But when you come abroad, when bills have to be paid, sometimes you're going to have to just dive into whatever is available to get the monies in, so you can at least stay afloat. And hopefully, somebody said the stream is lagging. Can you see me? Can you see me? Let me know if you can see me, you can hear me. Can you see me, please? Just give me a thumb up if you can see me. All right, okay. Somebody said the stream is lagging. I don't know. Maybe you're listening from some local internet cafe in Lagos. All right. I'm joking. I'm joking. Anyways, so the brother had to take on a delivery a delivery job, and which of course that would have dealt him the first blow coming into the system. He was working full time. She said she got him the van right at first, and which he was using for the job. He got here, he paid for his driving test and all that. He passed everything, and then he started doing the job. Can't I can't you can't knock a brother for doing what he has to do, right? And then before you know it, she got pregnant and then had a baby. Of course, bear in mind she was on the edge of turning 40, and I can understand as a woman, the body clock, everything's changing. She would want to have kids, because maybe medically, I'm not a medical expert, the window is perhaps getting narrow for her. But anyway, I'd like to believe that it was a mutual agreement. They had the first child, was a lovely girl, and all that. So as time went past, right, she wanted him to leave because they have a few family friends, right? So some of these family friends, basically, people that have been in the UK longer, long enough, maybe as long as herself, and they've paid their dues in the system. They've moved their careers to a certain level. So the long and short was, this is where it started. So she said they've got this 3 family friends or 4. So in the closely knit circle of friends, there are people that work as business analysts, IT consultants, project managers, and they earn £600 a day, £500 a day, £550 a day. People that live in the UK, and they're maybe contractors. You're familiar with this. This is a common knowledge, right? Now, of course, it's not a crime to want something good for your partner. So she wants her husband to jump into, the field of becoming a PM or business analyst, and so he can be earning, that type of money too. So she said she has a job and has a little business on the side. She's all right. So, but she then started putting pressure on him, said, oh, she can get one of the family friends. The guy, he's a senior business analyst, works in this financial services, would give her husband training and helping pad up a CV, as you do, to help him get into the industry, right? But the brother, her husband, refused. So that's where the fight started from. Not fight as such, but the disagreement, the back and forth. So she said at first the husband said yes, and then on weekends when he's not working, he would do like online trainings and stuff, with the guys that were trying to train him to become a business analyst. But the man said it's not for him, that he's not cut out to be a business analyst. Now, let's be clear though. I want to make something. I think I should finish the story first before I tell you, what I think and what my perception is, right? My villagers are trying to get into my lungs, Yeah. Now, watch this. So he said, he's not cut out for it. And then, so he said one of the family friends has another friend who works as a BA in the financial services. So they were trying to mold him, right, to use a sort of financial services background from back home and to use that as a sort of a cushioning, a foundation to build upon, and then he can adopt the BA knowledge, and hopefully they can mold him and hopefully push him into the financial services. Bearing in mind, it's not easy to break into the financial services. Now, I don't want people to jump into conclusions. Hear me out, and I'll tell you what I think. So the long and short was, he said he tried it, told his wife that he's not cut out for it. He was struggling, and he just said he's not cut out to be a business analyst and stuff like that. I think he wanted to do something else, and the wife was just hammering on, the benefits of doing that and how it would improve their lives, the money that they would make, he would make, and be able to, So the argument, because she wasn't backing down, I guess from the story that I read, that it exacerbated the situation, right? But all the while, whilst all that was going on, he was doing the delivery job and all that. She said, he was doing what he could with what he was earning. And then because she then said, now watch this. So she then had a sort of like a discussion with I think one of the family friends, and then the guys were trying to call her husband, like like a man-to-man type thing, sit him down like, bro, you gotta do this. So her husband lost his cool because he felt undermined by his wife. Like, hold on, why am I being ganged up upon? And then whereby, some people are calling me, having a round table talk, some other men like me. You're projecting me as I'm inadequate. And then I did something in the interest of fairness. And I appreciate that this woman was honest with me. I asked her in my reply, whilst you were arguing, whilst you were having your back and forth, because I know what it is like when partners are having a back and forth at loggerheads and stuff like that. Did you emphasize on the fact that you brought him to the UK? And then she said, of course, yes. That I said, I brought you to England, so, I did you a favor. She said, she didn't mean it that way, but I brought you here because I believed you were man enough, blah, 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 blah. And I expect you to stand on your legs and be able to provide for catastrophic failure. See, I already knew, all right? See, I'm not making an excuse for this brother. This is why I'm saying hit on the pause button, because I want to get to the end of it and I'll tell you what I think, and people can also leave their comments. That's what this is about. I don't want you to assume and jump into conclusion that the brother is not man enough. So she was like, I brought you to England. You see that statement? Those I brought you to England, I gave you papers, has destroyed so many lives, so many relationships that should still be alive today. I've made people just go their separate ways. These hanging over somebody's head. Fam, the geezer was back in Africa. He was working in the banking sector. You were introduced. You found a common ground. The matchmaking sort of worked for you guys. You offered to bring him. He said yes. You know what I mean? And then, so there was a kind of keeping up with the Joneses, disguised into the whole, I want my husband to make a headway. If you want your partner to make a headway, there are ways to present things, right? But again, people, whilst you want your partner, your man or your woman to do well, the danger of using other people's lives as a yardstick will end up destroying your life, destroying your relationship, right? Because fair enough, it's nice to have, to be inspired. You got family, friends, so people that are doing well. Fair enough. Some of them, you said, have been here 15 years, 19 years of their life, 20 years even, right? Now, exactly. She should remember she was nearing 40 and unmarried in England. He made her wife and mother nearly 40, unmarried in England. Our boy is sick by me and he. So she'll walk on Niger. All crazy, Gunny Louis. But of course, I've got to be professional. So thank you, Corey. Thank you. Appreciate it. So, anyways, there are loggerheads on those grounds, and he said he's not cut out for it. He doesn't want. So because of he felt like she threw him on the negative spotlight, and people are meddling in their affairs and having all this sit down, and the husband now cut ties, personal ties from those so-called family friends. He's not stopping her from being friends with them, but if any of them come around, she said he will get his shirt or van keys and just drive off from the home. So now certain people have stopped coming to their house because they don't want to be the reason why their home is sort of shattered and stuff. She's upset because all of these things are going wrong. And then she said to me, Franklin, this is the situation. Am I wrong for wanting my partner to do well and asking him to get into an industry where he can clearly leverage on his financial background and hopefully take his earning to a certain level and blah blah blah, and be able to bring on very good paycheck, and that the family we can collectively benefit from and all that. Now, that's the story. So I'm going to tell you what I think, right? Look, first of all, are you wrong for wanting your husband to do well? Definitely not. Come on, man. Man or woman, vice versa, right? You've got to be your partner's number one fan. But like somebody rightly said in one of the comments earlier, delivery matters a lot, right? And I've said this before. This is a classic example of keeping up with the Joneses, all right? I'm going to narrow this down. This is a prevalent problem within the black community. We are the only group of people where, I mean, personally, I'm just sick and tired of hearing those things. It's crazy. I gave you papers. If it was me that made you permanent resident, I gave you your papers. Look, let's be honest. Either man or woman, right? If people have arguments every day, whether you're white, black, blue, green, gay, straight, whatever, right? So every time you have a disagreement with your partner and you take a sharp left into reminding them that, oh, I made you a permanent resident. I gave you your status. I filed for you. I brought you to this country. So what you're effectively saying is, oh, you would have amounted to nothing if I didn't bring you here. Bear in mind, the brother had spent years moving up the career ladder within the financial sector back in Africa. He's done that for himself. She said he's educated up to master's degree level, regardless of his earning capabilities or whatever, right? You must have seen one or two things about him for you to have expressed interest. Because if it was exactly a bum, you wouldn't have gravitated towards him, regardless of you heading towards 40 at the time, right? So people match make all the time. People can introduce people and say, hey man, get to know such and such, get to know such and such. And then he must have ticked a few boxes. Gregory, thank you, my brother, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. And you get what I'm saying. But he then brought you here. Thank you, Akinola. Thank you, my brother. The idea, like I was saying, that, oh, you want your husband to earn, oh, what man would say no to that? Even if you want your husband to earn £100,000 a day, that's great. But I want to use this story to emphasize on something. In our community, this is personal observation now, we have a problem. There is a difference between being driven. There are, for example, let me say Nigerians. In the Nigerian, gathering or community, I use that loosely here in the UK, you find, tons of business analysts, project managers and stuff. It's a rewarding career. But at the same time, there's a prevalent problem. Everybody wants to earn 500, 600, 700 pounds a day, right? But the truth is, not everybody is wired to be a project manager or a business analyst. Do you get what I'm saying? Not everybody. So you might have family friends that inspire you. You want better for your partner. That's great. But you've also got to bear in mind that you cannot live your life mimicking other people's lives. That's why we come in different shapes and sizes. You've got to be honest. See, as rewarding as this career is, I'm sure there are so many professional people that watch this. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you the truth. Particularly within that industry, maybe this project management, business analyst, that whilst there are people thriving, there is also a huge number of people that get fired on a daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly basis. Do you know why? Due to incompetence. There is a high number of people that blag their way through the door. You might be able to beat them through the interview process. Then when they get to the field of play, right? Their CVs are on steroids. They've blagged their way. They've blown themselves out of proportion. They're not wired for it. They haven't got the skill set. But there are people that blag their way. They put their best. They learn, they try their best, and they keep it moving eventually. The storm settles for them, and then they build the skill set, they start to navigate, and they find their footings, right? But it's not the case for everybody. And you know what? Personally, whether you like it or not, I understand that we can easily get blinded and emotional about, opportunity to get £10,000 a month. What kind of man is that? No, I personally disagree. Black people need to learn from this. That's why you find so many incompetent nurses in the UK, in the US. People hear, oh, there is money in being a nurse. They hear money. They are money driven. They haven't got the skills. They haven't got the soft skills. They haven't got the compassion in them to actually work as a nurse. They haven't got the required level of patience. They are just cash driven. When they get to the field of play, they are slapped with reality. They are the type that will violate your grandfather, your grandmother, that will maltreat your mom and dad because they feel that because your elderly father is actually giving them headache. Sorry, what do you, some of these ones they're called caregivers, right? Do you get what I'm saying? I'm RN nurse in America. Oh, I'm a nurse. I'm a nurse. I'm a nurse. Not everyone can work as a nurse. And look, man, I'm trying my best to articulate myself as effectively as possible. Thank you, man. Thank you, Len Lu 007. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Somebody has spent a chunk of their adulthood working as an accountant, and then you get to the States, they tell you there is money in nursing, and you dive into nursing. You're not cut out for it, man. It's not for you. Now, but we have a problem. We use these things as a yardstick. You use it to discredit people, to belittle them, to undermine them. You use the same things to destroy your home because your husband cannot. Look, I've worked in the IT field, right? I've got a background in it. I've worked in contracting field in the past, right? I'm not going to lie to you, man. I've met some of my people. This is years ago. I've met some of my people in jobs, right? Forget about being black. They are not cut out for it. Do you understand me? Let's be honest. You come to the UK, somebody wants to pad up a CV for you. You want to go work in multi-million pound company to earn £500-600 a day. It's nice to have. Oh, it will elevate your life. Oh, of course. Your bank balance will be absolutely green. It's not for the faint-hearted. You have zero background. You want to go start right from the top. I've met people, they can't even articulate themselves effectively. You wouldn't last 5 minutes in a piping hot boardroom with top level directors. You wouldn't even be able to work with top level project teams. It comes with experience. You cannot buy experience with money. No. A lot of our people get fired a lot. We like to rush through the door. And you know what? The moment those organizations find out, they look at you, they know straight away. They know. You call yourself a top level business analyst, you can't even use Microsoft Excel at an advanced level. Are you joking? You think the people paying you £600 a day have got time to babysit you? Do you get what I'm saying? %99.5% that go into nursing or home health aid are not doing it for passion. Of course, they do it for the money. Whilst people might want to say, oh, Phrankleen, why are you saying that? These are the people that end up violating your elderly fathers and mothers. So before you defend them, think about it. If I walk through your door as a nurse or as a caregiver and I'm incompetent, I have zero passion. If you catch me violating your father or your mother, will you find it? Will you be able to forgive me? And if you realize that I lied to get in, let me read what Akinola said. I've been on a job earning £900 a day before, and I knew the kind of stress and effort I had to put into it. So yeah, not everyone is cut out for it. My man. You see what Akinola wrote? Your average Nigerian or black person would hear £900 a day. Tomorrow morning, they want to become a business analyst. Now, you see what Akinola just wrote, right? I can assure you that if you have a sit down with Akinola and talk to the brother, you'd realize that he has a journey. He has paid his dues, particularly in terms of experience. And you still make sure that you get up to date with the industry. Do you get what I'm saying? So you might have family friends. You might have family friends who are on £500-600 a day. But to put pressure on your man that, oh, go jump on it. And also bear in mind, for somebody who is coming from Nigeria, there's a high cultural difference. He's trying to acclimatize to the system. If a man is honest enough to say, I'm not cut out for this, there might be a few factors. One, it may be fear. Two, he's being honest. Okay, what are the options? Okay, what can we, maybe train as a PMO analyst. A PMO analyst is like a baby brother to becoming a BA. Spend a couple of years as a PMO analyst. It's a nice entry into the role of a BA. Maybe train as a junior project manager. A junior project manager is a baby brother of a fully blown project manager, right? You might be that junior project manager making coffee for the top guy whilst you're shadowing and gathering knowledge. Of course. Let me see. In finance, they used to check things that you put in your CV even after you have been hired. Of course, nobody's getting paid what they're worth. Correct me, people. Yeah. But like I said, it's a prevalent problem in our community where people are cash driven. Everybody wants to look. I know nobody likes to publicize negative news about themselves. Do you get what I'm saying? But the truth is, those in the industry, brothers and sisters watching this, somebody like Akinola, somebody who's been in the industry for years would agree with me. There are people that get fired every day. And like somebody rightly said, look, man, we are black folks. This is not about racism. I gotta be honest, I'll give it to you 100%. This is not about, oh, they fired me because I'm black. Forget that nonsense. There are many black brothers and sisters that, you know, if you have what it takes, that have what it takes and they're killing it on a daily basis. They're taking their paycheck quietly. There is prejudice. There can be racism at work and all that, but that's not the point here. There was a guy that was actually honest. He told me this. This was a while back. He said, Phrankleen, said, I got a rude awakening. I work for an organization. I'm not going to name the organization here in the UK. He said, bro, some guys helped me. I blagged my way through. He said, Phrankleen, I got in at £550 a day. He goes, bro, I was paid. I was hiding behind the scene. I was paid that money, £550 a day. He said, I got away with it for a month and a half because the first month was induction. They're still trying to sort out my login, setting up my emails. I was getting the $550 a day. So guess what? In the middle of month 2, it was a 6-month contract. In the middle of month 2, randomly, he got an email, said there was to be an unplanned meeting with some of the top directors within the organization. Oh, okay. Everyone's scrambling to the boardroom and all that. Hello, hi, nice to meet you. Oh, what's going on? Hey, hello, oh, who's this guy? Normal stuff, right? And then the meeting started. It was all well and good, and randomly from nowhere, just one of the top directors sat at the tail end of the table, just took interest in him. Like, oh, hi, you are the new business analyst. Oh, yeah. My name is such and such and so. Oh, nice to meet you. How are you finding the organization? Do you like it here? Blah, blah, blah. So the guy was just like, right, okay, great stuff. So are you going to be the one working on XYZ? Dude said, yeah. And said, oh, okay, great stuff. The director openly in the boardroom had no malicious intent, but just started engaging him in line with what he was hired to do. So right, talk to me. You're going to do X, Y, Z, blah, 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 blah. So you're going to be doing this. And my guy just sat there, yeah, I'm not sure if, yeah. Whoa. Yeah, I haven't, I'm not really, I can't, what? Bro. And the truth is, these people are not forgiving. Just imagine a board meeting packed with the top guys in the organization. They are paying you 550 Great Britain pound sterling per day. And you are sat in there with your suit and tie. You're saying you're not sure. So he said, he said, bro, under the table, he said, bro, my boxers was feeling wet between my laps. Of course, I can imagine. And you know what? Come on, man. Even if it was you, let's not play the game of black and white now. If it was you hired me for £550 a day, and you're asking me, Phrankleen, can you do X, Y? And I'm not sure. I'm not really, I'm not that conversant with Microsoft Excel. Sorry, what? Come on, man. Even for peanut money, people, you know what they did? So he said the director just went quiet. Said, okay, right. Nice to meet you, man. That's fine. They changed the topic, right? The meeting carried on. My guy was already pulling in his pants because he knows that the axe was coming down, right? And he said, shortly afterwards, he went for lunch. He said he went to Subway to get some food. He said he nearly threw up in his own mouth. He had to bin his lunch. He was sweating in the middle of winter. Just imagine the embarrassment The entire office sat in the boardroom. The black guy at the other end of the table, hired as a business analyst, could not even pronounce Robinson Crusoe to save his life. As soon as he was returning from the lunch break, watch this. You know, you get your swipe card to swipe the door back in. He said, there was already one of the managers. Oh, hi. So hi. Can I have your pass, please? If you just nip into the interview room for a quick chat and stuff. And I said, you know what? It's been a pleasure knowing you. I'm sure you have a fantastic, future ahead of you, and we wish you well. But of course, so we've decided to let you go, and so I've asked IT to clear your inbox. And so, have you got any of your personal artifacts in the drawer? So yeah, we just like to take your bag and pick your things, and Mike here will escort you out of the building. We're hoping there wouldn't be any need for aggression or anything like that. If you need anything, there's a number. You can call HR or send them an email. They will, be in touch. But of course, as a gesture of goodwill, we'll pay you for the rest of the week. All right. So thank you, man. It's been a pleasure knowing you. All the best with the future, man. Right. So imagine you walking through an open plan office, having to take your bag and baggages, and everyone looking at you, and you take your stuff, and that's the exit. Use it. Sorry, can I switch off the kettle? Thank you, man. Don't worry about the kettle. We'll cut that out ourselves. Yeah, I left the charger on the. No worries about it, mate. Just help yourself out the building. Boom. But of course, that brother told me this story, hand on my heart. I couldn't make this up, right? I met him somewhere in New Cross. I'm not gonna lie, man. I laughed my butt off. But this is the reality that nobody's gonna come on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram and come and tell you this. Our people get fired on a daily basis because you blagged your way through the door. You cannot deliver. Nobody's going to forgive you, man. Who is a fool? You got away with it because, the first month, nothing was happening, and then the boardroom, bang, and that was the end. Bye. So, whilst £550 a day, like Akinola said, my brother said, £900 a day, my G, like he said, he's at a £900 a day job. Are you buzzing? Who's going to hand you £900 a day? Bruv, if you sneeze like an illiterate, they can fire you. £900 a day, you're a black man. You are under 24/7 spotlight. In fact, there are persons in that organization that are already neck deep in jealousy. They will be studying every single movement so they can destroy that daily bread. You're probably earning more money than your line manager. That's fact. So all I'm saying is, let people express themselves. Let him decide to do. Life is not just about having a bag load of money. Money is nice to have. Of course, some people would say money is up there with oxygen. Of course, it would help you have a good quality of life, give a good life to your family, your children, and all that stuff. But, man, you cannot. Thank you, like Zunai said. You're going to be here in England. They're paying you £900 a day. They will micromanage your balls. Bring out your calculator and press it. They will micromanage your balls. You better be the guy that comes into the office and be very polite. Good morning. Morning, everybody. Would you like some mangoes? Would you like some egusi soup? Let me wash your cup. Do everything you can to protect that bread. They will be so petty. Make sure you laugh at every joke. I'm joking, of course. But when it comes to the field of play, make sure you can deliver. Thank you, man. Thank you for the super chat. That's all I'm saying. So let me now say, right? She said her husband expressed interest that based on his background, he wants to become a chartered accountant. Boom! What's wrong with that? I deliberately kept that detail up until this point. The brother said to her that I would do maybe some ACCA, whatever qualification. I will become, what do you call it, man? A chartered accountant. And Gabriel Gold, my brother, I see you, man. I see you, bro. Thank you for joining, man. I see you. That's my homeboy, man. Do you get what I'm saying? It's not a joke, blood. So he said he will get some ACCA or whatever thing done so he can become a chartered accountant. If you become a chartered accountant, the career path for that is amazing. So why don't you support your partner? But because Mr. and Mrs. Dangbana Shoko from the next house, her husband is on £750. He works in Canary Wharf. Your husband needs to go and get job as a business analyst. Stop doing that, man. You don't have to mimic the lifestyle of Mr. and Mrs. Dangbana Shoko, man. Just, come on, man. This is what I'm saying. It's very common. Everybody here in the UK wants to be a nurse. Everybody Dangbana Shuku. Kala kan lo je. That's the way I see it, man. Smash the like button, man. One guy I met lighting his job that is a carpenter and the testing, boom, fail. Yeah. Look, man, let me tell you, man. First of all, let me be clear, right? I'm not knocking, my people for trying or wanting to better their lives. But you need to tell yourself the truth. Because let me tell you, the field of play in those jobs in the central London sectors, those public sectors, it's not for the faint-hearted. Even if you want to get a job as a project support officer, some people, let's talk about cultural differences. Let's talk about being able to deliver on the task at hand, being able to effectively articulate yourself. So you get to the office environment, you're not even wired, you're not used to all the tools. It's not for you. And also there are persons that I have seen, maybe they've come from Africa, they've come here, depending on your educational background, the way you were formed, and then when you get here, you just hear that, oh, Mr. Akinola is on £900 a day, and then from a distance you start to compete, you want to get in there. You cannot. Look, man, I love my people, right? But I've got to say this, man. You work in an environment where you don't even get a simple joke construct. You can't even, your social interaction skills is absolute zero, right? Your writing and speaking skills, zero. How are you going to be able to work on project documents? You can't even nosedive into a business plan. You can't. Do you get what I'm saying? You're gonna have daily updates. What? Go and read on the requirements of a business analyst. You think it's not a joke? You think it's a joke? There are some organizations, they give you a totally different impression when they are interviewing you for the job. I have seen that before. When you go for job interviews, you get a totally different perception. Like, oh, I'm going into a solid team. Oh, I remember years ago when I got a job as a project support officer. This was years ago. I was given an impression that the project was at the implementation phase. Based on Prince 2, I'm thinking, oh, okay, that's an ongoing project. I'm diving into a live project where the project team is already on getting their hands dirty on a daily basis. And then I'm going to get in there, boom, everything is live. It was a bloody lie. I was successful at the job interview. At the time, it was 100 and I think it was £170 a day in Leeds or something. Can't remember. 150 or something a day. Can't remember. Now watch this. Then I started the job. I logged into the SharePoint, all the project folders, project plan, project these, the necessary documentations, zero. Guess what? The people that hired me, they were the permanent staffs of the organization, right? They had no clue about project management. I had just passed my Prince 2 exams and qualifications at the time. I was hot like fire. I didn't even know my worth at the time. I was talking the game. I was ready to get in. So I'm looking in the SharePoint folders. I couldn't see no project plans, nothing. No business, the business case or the business plan, there was just a template. Everything was empty. So I went back to my line manager and I said, where are the project documents? Where is the team? They told me you're at the implementation phase. Where are the technical guys? Where are these? Where? And then she said, oh, no, Phrankleen. Well, to be honest with you, well, we thought implementation in terms of we want to implement the project. We have not really started. It's been commissioned by the directors. So we are hoping that we bring you in and then you can hit the ground running. Huh? So basically, they expect me to become the project manager, the business analyst, to be the guy making the cup of tea for the guy making coffee, the postman and everything. Oh, lady, boo. Yo. Yo. Man, I did not pretend. I had to speak to one of the top guys and says, no. So I'm sorry. I had to be honest. I said at the time, I said, I haven't got what it takes to, I can have a go. I can, I'm never afraid. So, but I haven't got the skill set to function as a business analyst or even a hybrid combined skill set of a PM and a business analyst. I can't. At the time, I had no clue. So they were like, oh, okay. We'll see what we can do. Me. We will see how we work around it. But I just couldn't say to them that you lied to me during the course of the interview because I know they will get rid of me if I say that. But some of our people, you go in there acting like Godzilla, right? Oh, don't worry. It's not a problem. I will do everything. In our country, I was even a 5-time business analyst. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. And you know you're lying. And then, and you know, I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one more thing. There's another brother that got fired as a business analyst. I remember this. I'll tell you this quickly and I'll close up. So, dude told me this, right? This is what some of our people don't even know, yeah? So, he was in the boardroom. He was the only black dude at the organization. Not that it mattered, but according to what he told me. So, they were asking him questions. Maybe somebody can learn from this. Conversation during the project meeting. Your average black dude that's not clued up, you'd be like, they ask you all these on the spot questions. Like, for example, Phrankleen, with the risk and issues log. Do you know about such and such and such? Right? If you don't have a clear-cut, verifiable answer right there on the spot, you know what you do? So, right. I tell you what, mate. Why don't I take that offline and then I'll get back to you before the close of operation today, or I'll get back to you before the end of the week. So that way, that's what white folks do. That way, nobody in that project, there is nothing that suggests that I'm incompetent. There is nothing that suggests that I'm unable to deliver. What I'm effectively saying is, oh, let me take that offline and I'll get back to you. All right? And you need that by what? By Friday before lunchtime. That's absolutely fine. Tó bá dẹ̀ yẹ kí wọ́n fẹ́ lọ ṣíwèé nu toilet ni, yeah, wọ́n kàn mú lọ offline náà kí wọ́n check. Mr. Akinola. Do you know what I'm saying? And then I can sit down and then compose a proper email and then say, with reference to the conversation, during the course of the meeting, blah, 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 this. You said this, right? This guy told me this. He was a brother, a good friend. And he said he would sit in the project and then they would ask him this, they'd ambush him. They'd ask him these questions. The moment they realized that you are foolish, he was a technical guy. He knew his stuff, but his demise at that organization was because he was suffering from judgmental poverty. Judgmental poverty in the sense that he wasn't smart enough to back out from that question and say, oh, I tell you what, mate, why don't I take that offline and then I'll get back to you. Nobody can hold your jugular in that boardroom or hold you down. No, but we don't know that. So he said, they'll ask him questions and they'll be like, I will do this. So initially when we put the file on top, then I will now, is that right? You end up disseminating nonsense, and you know what they're going to do? They'll put a noose around your neck. They'll use that against you. And then it came to the time of when they were meant to review his contract and extend the contract. And then the guy, the line manager, told him, said, I'm afraid, a few of your colleagues, people are just concerned about of course, they appreciate that you're very passionate, which is great. And I'm sure that passion will take you far in life. But we are very concerned about what might be seen as a negative impact on the life cycle of the project because of what may be seen as lack of knowledge. Of course, you're a good guy, and I don't mean that in a bad way. So I'm afraid for that reason, we're going to have to let you go. It's just with reference to this meetings and that meetings that you said this, that you said that, it appears that, you're perhaps not cut out for the role. We might have, that's our fault for hiring you. And of course, we've all learned from it. We might have blown things out of proportion for giving you that role. So unfortunately, we'll have to shake hands at this junction and, wish you all the best with the future. You can imagine your bladder is leaking. Alaye Ishetan. Sorry, what? What? Because of that, when Roland said that, the job, what? No, I didn't. I was just trying to. I was. That's it. And then from there was a thin line between you taking that blow in a so-called professional manner or getting animated, and then they start to like, sorry, can I just ask you to keep your hands down? It's just getting a bit aggressive. You're just, do you mind? Are you guys all right? Okay. Can I just ask you to step in the corridor for a moment, please? That's the end. This is how so many people get thrown out. But that's how some people, then this guy said He went back home. He was speaking to an older brother who has experience in the industry. And then the brother listened and said, nah, man, never ever commit to anything. If you have somebody at work that tells you that they're going to do XYZ, just tell them in an email. Make sure you have a trail. With reference to the project meeting today, you said you were going to do XYZ. Copy people in so that you have an official trail. But if all that you have is Mike said during the lunch break, Lisa said, when it comes to dealing with the consequences of not doing certain things within the project environment, people are going to lie. I'm sorry, I didn't have a conversation. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I've worked in this organization for 3 years, and just to be lied upon and be treated like this, I never had a conversation. I've never spoken to this guy. I'm so sorry. I need to call my dad. Liar, liar. But because you don't have evidence. It's okay, Lisa. Don't cry. It's all right. He's totally trying to ruin my reputation. It's a lie. It's a lie. And then you'll be like, excuse me, I spoke to Lisa in the at the staff canteen. She said she was going to send the file, and it happens all the time. Some people don't know this, and then your job goes bang. It happens. Keep a trail, man. Yeah. So that's all I'm saying, man. Let people find, what they can really do, man. Don't chase the money because the guy next door. Don't go and look. If your goal, all I'm saying is, if your goal is to become a business analyst, ask the seasoned guys and ladies, men and women, how do I build up? How quickly you move is up to you, right? Maybe start as a PMO analyst. Even as a PMO analyst, it's not for the faint-hearted. There was somebody that told me about somebody else's story that got fired. You know why? Because of bad grammar in project documents. You cannot write clear-cut top-level project reports that directors can read. You cannot compress the life cycle of a project into about 4 or 5 paragraphs. You're there writing absolute nonsense, and you want them to pay you £500 a day? Oh, people get fired a lot, man. There are some people that do trainings, Training is great. Thank you, Lama. Training is great, that will train us to get into these industries. It's great. But because a lot of the people that sell you this training packages, on their side of the table, right, they are salesmen. They want to get as many people trained as possible to become project managers and business analysts. They withhold certain honest truths and career related information from you. The guy is training people within our communities here in the UK. I'll train you to become a business analyst. You got to ask you a question. Bro, tell me your background. So you've been working stacking shelf at Asda or Tesco. You've been working as a caregiver. Okay, what's your educational background? You can't even use... I've met someone, she wants to become a project manager. But she told me, I don't like Excel. I don't like all these Word documents. I don't like programming. I don't really like all these... Sorry, who cares what you like? You want to work as a project manager though, but you hate all the tools. Like, how? How? You want to show up with just notepad and pen? I don't really like Zoom, all these latest things that they use. I'm not a fan of Microsoft Excel. I'm not a fan, but I want to work as a project manager. Those are your daily tools. In fact, those tools should be your playground. But you want to go earn £500-600 a day. And then you're going to blag your way and tell them, oh yeah, I can use Excel. In fact, it comes as a second nature for me. And then they ask you to move data from a spreadsheet to the other one. And hey, Jesus Christ. And then you start running to the toilet back and forth. And then they realize that you can't even do any of those things. And you get fired. You're saying you're not a fan of Excel, but training is somebody, let me see what this person said. Training is a racket. They are setting you up for failure, and they are frauds. They are the ones destroying the reputation of hardworking materials overseas. Thank you, my brother. I couldn't have said that enough. Within our communities, there are people, and I'm not lumping everyone in the same category, that are contributing positively. But there is a big, important part of the whole system that is missing. A lot of them are salesmen. All right? So check this out. If I want to set up a travel agency in Nigeria, for example, by the way, which I am going to, I'm going to be a different travel agency. You know why? So some random guy comes into my travel agency. He calls himself Rasaki. Travel, bro. I want to go abroad. So I'm gonna sit your black ass down. Sit down, bro. So why do you want to go to the UK? And then I realize I want to go to the UK to go and hustle. So, bro, I'm gonna tell you the truth. That's not gonna sabotage my business. But the greedy ones, they just want you to pay for the package, put bish bash bosh any nonsense together, push you out, and then the next customer. And then Rasaki gets to the UK. He realized that he can't mingle, he cannot function in a well-structured society. Rasaki ends up working as a security guard or working washing dishes because he hasn't got educational background. He cannot articulate himself properly. He has got zero writing skills. He can't read. Somebody's saying you're not going to make money, Phrankleen. I'll make money. I'll make money. Believe me, I'll make money. You want to go abroad. I'm telling you, bro, do you know that there are people abroad that are trapped in the systems? If somebody had told them what to do, they would have approached the traveling in a better manner. They would have prepared. They would have probably thought, oh, hang on, you know what? I'll leave it. Or let me go for this type of visa instead. I've seen someone that said, look, I cannot make this up. Somebody told her in Nigeria that when she gets to the UK, she should go to Luna House, which is where the UK Border Force office is in London. People watching this in the UK know what I'm saying. She said, as soon as you spend six months, you can go there and tell them that you need accommodation, and they will give you free accommodation because you're a woman with a child. Do you know that woman came here with that nonsense? Do you know where Luna House is? Immigration office. It's like in America. You go to ICE and you go and tell ICE that, hey man, I need accommodation, I haven't got papers. That's a first class flight out of the United States. And I bumped into this lady. I couldn't make this up. I said, wait, somebody told you this, that you should take your daughter to the immigration office and tell them that you need a flat in the UK and they will give you. Said, oh yeah, my travel agent told me. Do you see what I'm saying? And this was a 42-year-old woman at the time. I said, oh, bad try here. If your shadow lands on the doorstep of Luna House, free flight back to Lagos. And if the people in the Luna House have a great sense of humor, they'll probably kick back and be laughing their butt off because they'll probably think she's there to wind them up. Maybe she's doing some YouTube skit. They probably won't believe it. And she was looking at me like, yeah, but they told me that they would give me a flat. They will give you but then, of course, it only took her a couple of weeks before she realized that she was already in an entrapment here in the UK. So hit the like button. about 800 people watching me, man. Wow. Hit the like button, man. I guess that title attracted a lot of people. Please hit the like button. Smash that like button, man. So that's the story, man. All I'm saying is, please, man, it's great to be inspired. Bro, people get fired every day. You see, the premise of my channel is so we can have these conversations that we would normally not openly have. Do you see? And the great thing is when people send me their stories, I can always talk about your stories. I'm not going to put you on a blast by exposing who you are. I would never do that. Your privacy is paramount and stuff. But believe me, man, and you know what? Let me tell you, all of our people that have all this bogus CVs, it's not so much that you had to, black and white, people do it, that you had to patch up your CV. Do what you got to do, man, get through the door. But if you don't have the skills, that's where the problem lies. You can't use Microsoft Excel. You're rushing to the toilet 4 or 5 times. You can't do this, you can't do that. And then to make it worse for the religious nut jobs, you start praying. You're crazy, man. I wish I was your Jesus for a second. I'd have slapped your black behind. Boy, if you don't get off your knees, call Excel. You're praying, You can't use Excel. You haven't got a business analyst skills. You're praying. Sorry, what exactly? You're praying to me. If I was your Jesus, you're praying to me so I can go and help mentally scam, right? Or inflict your employer with Alzheimer's, right? So that they won't notice that you're useless. You're joking. I'd have whacked your head off your neck if I was your... That's why, Anyway, do what you got to do, man. Audrey! I appreciate you, man. Smash the like button. I've seen people lose their home because they can't pay their mortgage, but they are paying all of their money to their church. Oh, Harriet, let's not talk about church. There are people on this timeline that are religious people. They're going to rip my balls off, man. Let's not talk about them. Today, I'm not in the mood, man. The next time, I'm coming like a Rambo to give it to them, man. But not today, not today. Let's not talk about that, Harriet, man. They're coming into my inbox. Phrankleen, the Bible says in the book of Proverbs chapter 6. Hey, yo. Oh, my God. Phrankleen, you didn't see my super chat. Amati, I saw your super chat, my person, man. I appreciate you, my sister. You always support me, man. I appreciate you, man. We're going to pretend, man, we ain't talking about church today, man. Somebody saying Phrankleen needs Jesus, man. I see a Jesus, I'm going to buy him a bottle of Origin. Say, what's up, Lord and Savior, man? What's going on, man? Let's talk about your people. Listen, it's nothing but love, man. The way I live my life, 2 things, love and respect. You and I that we see ourselves, if I don't have compassion towards you, even the tiniest degree of compassion, just because you don't agree with me, I want you dead. I want you, your children to perish. Lord, kill their babies, innocent children of your work colleague. You want them to die. Nah, come on. We'll talk about that another day, man. Family aspect, my brother. I see you, man. I see you. Let's drink, my brother. Let's drink Origin someday, man. What are you saying? Origin is nice, man. Origin is nice. Only flavor, So that's me done. Thank you, man. Look, give me some like button before we wrap up, man. Give me some like button. Some more likes on the video. People should just, find what works for you. And you know what? All these organizations, before I forget this, all of these people, when you go, let me tell you, man, these recruitment agencies, these organizations, once they learn our patterns of doing things, what they do is they blacklist a lot of our people, organizations. They see the pattern. It's hard out there, man. Mr. Sam, let me pay my offering to Phrankleen. God bless you, my brother. Well, kneel down. Let me put the holy water on you, man. You know what I'm saying? But above all, man, black love, man, all day, every day. If you have information that you can, all I'm saying in closing, okay, you have information that can contribute positively to your brothers or your sisters' lives, business wise, career wise, please let's keep doing it. Let's keep doing it. Let's help ourselves. But above all, tell people the truth. And you people, if somebody who's been in the game longer than you, learn to listen. You cannot wake up today and then just expect 500 pounds a day in your pocket. It doesn't work like that. Stop keeping up with the Joneses. There's one thing I love about the white folks. Let me say this, okay? There's something I love about some part of the lifestyle of the white folks. You might find the wife working in the financial services in the heart of London, and she has a £120,000 a year job. And the husband is an art teacher that works part-time, and they have two wonderful children, and they live happily. Believe me, the husband might have a top job, and wife is somebody that knits baskets or does some handmade jewelries, and maybe all she earns in the year is £35,000, whilst the husband earns 90,000. They live happily. Believe me. So money is great. Money is up there with oxygen, of course. But what I'm effectively saying is, when you are blindly driven by money, this is why a lot of us end up in pits and bad decisions. That's all I'm saying. Somebody is an RN nurse. They're earning blah, blah, blah. I want to become a nurse. Like, look at me now. I can't be a nurse. I can't be a nurse. I'm not wired for it. Even if they're paying nurses $500 a day, I can't. It's not in me to be a nurse. There are some people, they are naturally gifted when it comes to working with children. Don't start bogus child-minding business just because somebody said there is money in there, but you don't have it in you to work with children. That's how you get into trouble and go and hurt people's children. But just because, oh, the lady next door is earning £5,000 a month, £6,000 a month, you want to go work with children. It's not in you to be a chef. But because that chef is earning £10,000 a month, you want to be a chef. What you don't understand is that chef did not start yesterday. They paid their dues. They worked so hard to come that far to get to that level. But you want to be a chef. I love this. Learn to function in your own gifting. Fantastic. Smash the like button. Thank you for watching. I appreciate everyone that's been part of the live stream. It's absolutely amazing. I really, really appreciate you. That's me done. It's your boy Phrankleen, and I'll definitely catch you in the next one. Thank you for the super chats. Do enjoy the remaining parts of your day. If you're watching this as a playback, keep the conversation going on below. Send me your stories to foodchannel1960@gmail.com. Peace and love, man. Bye-bye.